everyone, my name is Alton. Behind the camera is my colleague Brad, and we are very excited to be putting on the first SCX30 competition here in Northeast Wisconsin with our course right here on this table. This is Rock Rumble, and it's going to be something like we've never experienced before. It's somewhere in between the major 10th scale competitions that are out there and something that's just very casual. Kept the rules very basic, very easy to understand. Make sure you go to our page on Facebook to check out the rules and read through them, but we're going to go over them here right now just to give you a better idea and see what we're talking about. This is a stock Jeep SCX30. And while it is not exactly the same as it comes out of the box, it comes with the roof rack and some scale accessories as well as our spare tire. This is an allowed alteration of the SCX30 that does give it some slightly better performance. Everything on here is box stock in its original form as it came out of the box. So some very important things to note that are some common things people are doing to modify these, which would essentially move you from the box stock class to the modified class. The big one here is right there, the window piece. We do need that window piece fully intact as it came out of the box in order to qualify for the box stock class. A lot of people are cutting material out of there to try to shave weight off the top, and that would move you into the modified class. So you can bring your vehicle, Jeep or Ford Bronco, either in the way it came directly out of the box with the roof rack and all the scale accessories, or you can use the alternative pieces that came in the box to delete the roof rack, scale accessories, and the spare tire. We will allow you just to remove the spare tire on the back because we know how difficult it is to put on that taillight piece right there and get the screws into it. So if you just remove the spare tire, that's fine. But we wanted to show you the two ways, or somewhere in between, that you can run your Jeep or your Ford Bronco. The other ways that could be is you could leave the roof rack on and take the scale accessories on the sides off if you don't feel like deleting the roof rack and putting the other panels in. But they're pretty easy. It just takes a little Phillips head screw like for an eyeglass. A couple other things too that we're going to just talk about the trucks. What you can do if you want between the two box stock trucks, the Ford Bronco and the Jeep, is you can use the stock tires and wheels as they are glued together. For example, if you wanted to take the stock tires and wheels from the Ford Bronco and put them on the Jeep, you can do that, and vice versa. We do know that the general consensus is the Jeep tires are better than the Bronco tires. However, there's not too much of a difference, and I don't think you're going to find that much of a difference on our course by switching the tires. We've had a couple people in here play testing the course with both the Bronco and the Jeep and modified trucks, modified SCX30s, and all have been able to complete the course and complete all obstacles. So looking here out at the course, right now it is about 95% of the way finished. What I mean by that is that there's a few tiles that we're going to add to it yet that we are still in the process of printing. The major thing you're not seeing here are the gates yet, and those will come up later, but we will have gates. Some will be more like checkpoints and others will be gates, and look at the rules to see how gates work. But to give you again an idea here in our video, let's say we had a gate right here at the end where my fingers are. The object of getting through the gate is to pass the vehicle through without touching the gate. So if you were to have your vehicle tip and touch or scrape that gate on the side, that would be a point deduction. Some of them are going to be easier to get through. They're going to be wider just because we want them to be more like checkpoints than gates. And one thing that's not written in the rules, but I'm going to explain right now, is that if you were to have a rollover where your vehicle was completely turtled, you can't recover it from your driving, then that would require a touch. Very important. Do not touch the car. The judge will pick up your car and put it back to the previous gate. But that's why we're going to have gates, so that we have those markers of where that's going to happen. We're also going to have one other kind of a fun rule. Essentially, you're going to have to keep the vehicle on the tiles at all times. So the rule is going to be called the floor is lava. So if any one of your wheels touches the table, then that will be an automatic move from the truck, the judge will pick your car up and put it back to the previous gate that you had completed. As far as controllers go, for both modified and box stock class, any transmitter you want to use with this is legal as long as it hooks up with the stock receiver in the SCX30. So that would be your Spectrum DX5s, your SLT controllers, or even if you got the big bad boy IXSR. Any one of these are legal with either class. For our modified classes, there's not a whole lot of rules. In fact, it's pretty open. You're allowed to use any body you like as long as it covers the full chassis rails of the vehicle. Also, your chassis rails must be within plus minus 3 millimeters of the stock chassis rail length. So we're not going to allow super chopped chassis. As far as axles and wheels and tire goes, anything goes, except for wheels and tires. You have to be under, I believe it's 45 millimeters, but check the official rules to make sure that I quoted that correctly. So whatever it says in the rules on the event page on Facebook, that's what you're going to want to make sure that your tires are under that diameter. But you are allowed to put in weight anywhere on the vehicle you want, and you're allowed to use any electronics you want as long as it's still fitting for 30th scale. The other rules that we have about these, even though I don't think dig exists yet for these, it might, but no dig and no four-wheel steering. If you have converted your vehicle to four-wheel steering, you'll just have to keep it in front-wheel steering mode only. Brad just brought up a great question here. Are we going to allow scale recovery items? And the short answer to that is we're not going to really take them into consideration for this. First of all, I don't really think that there's that much stuff out there for 30th scale yet, but that would be referring to winches, tow ropes, things of that nature that would essentially let you recover the vehicle from a rollover. We're not going to mess with that for this competition. First of all, there's not a whole lot of stuff to work with on that, but for the most part in this competition, if you roll over but you can recover it yourself, it's 5 points. But if you turtle yourself and cannot recover without a touch, it's 10 points. And that's just how we're going to score it. We're going to be pretty lenient if you're able to recover it on your own. Our course is going to be laid out just like this, and it's got some amazing features on it. We're going to start up here on the platform. This platform is going to be the start and finish for the course and the competition and the layout that we're going to have. It's going to start with rear wheels touching this rock formation, and you're going to end up here on Pride Rock, just like Simba. Some of the features that you're going to notice on here is we've got a lot of rock formations. This rock formation right here, this rock formation is going to be one of the most technical spots of the course, so be prepared. But you'll notice we've got a teeter-totter here. That works really well. We also have this cliffhanger formation here. However, it's more of a bridge, just a fun little drive over for the SCX30s. For a 24th scale class, this might turn into something different. We're going to be sending out a Google form to fill out to get an idea of how many people we want to participate in there. It's just going to be simple. Fill out your name, if you intend to come, of course, and what classes you want to run. Do you want to run the mod class, or are you running a stock class? We are going to be seeing if there's interest in an SCX24 class to do, which is going to be more for fun. It's not going to necessarily have the same judging as the SCX30 classes, but we want to gauge interest. So we will be putting an option for that in the Google form, and we want to see how many people we're going to have come out. Of course, it will be dependent on how many SCX30 trucks we get signed up, because if we have a lot of these and we're not going to have time for this, then that's going to be the way the cookie crumbles on this. However, if we get enough of these and have enough of these and have time for everything, we're going to let people bring SCX24s, TRX4Ms, Red Cat Ascent 18s, all the different 18th and 24th scale to just have like kind of a more of a fun run that will still grade in time, but it won't be for competition per se. So let us know if you want to see this here as well and you'd like to bring your SCX24 or other 18th or 24th scale crawler with you to this event when we send out the form. The contest is going to be February 7th, coming up in just a few weeks. The start time, doors will be open at 11 a.m. for everybody to come in, check out the course, get their trucks ready, and we'll even maybe allow a little bit of open crawling, but that will be determined later. The idea of this is we want people to come into the contest a little fresh. There will be some spots on the course that will be for sure blocked off because They'll be there in case of a tiebreaker or a challenge. We're going to have some more announcements coming out about certain things updating with the rules of the course. Nothing's going to change the original rules unless there's something drastic that we come up with, but those original rules will be in place, but we're going to come up with some neat bonuses. Also, there's going to be some trophies for this, so you're not going to want to miss this. Make sure you sign up, watch for that Google form to come out. Andy here at Fast and Fun Toy and Hobby is going to send it out in the weekly e-blast next Sunday, so make sure you're checking it out then. I believe he's also putting out an announcement for it today as we're recording this video. So again, make sure you go on that Google form, fill it out so that we know you're coming and know what you're bringing, so we know what to be prepared for, and we will see you on February 7th. Thanks so much.